All right, everyone, welcome. Courage is not the absence of fear, but instead, it is the process of overcoming it. Welcome to Curse of Strahd. We start on a clear, starry, early morning in the quaint, humble town of Daggerford. We zoom down through the nicely lit streets, passing by stragglers from the nearby pubs and blue collar workers eager to start their day. Carriages carrying their precious cargo to places afar clamber past on cobblestone streets, unafraid of the specters of the day to come. We finally settle on an empty street in a forgotten part of town next to a single story stone building with a swinging sign out front that says Nightmare's Stable. Quiet inn on the edge of town. This is the beginning of our story. Stepping up to the front door, collecting their belongings and their nerves, it's time to introduce our first adventurer, Michael. Can you describe what your character looks like, what they have on them, what they're feeling as they step into this unknown inn in the town of Daggerford?
Yes, absolutely. What everyone would see is a human man in his early to mid 20s. He has golden brown hair that is very much styled to look effortless, kind of swept back. He has a brown leather doublet over a sort of filmy white silk shirt, brown leather pants and boots. Everything on him looks almost more ornamental than it does practical, uh, including the rapier on his hip. The hilt looks more like it's used for something ceremonial as opposed to actually fighting anything. Um, and he has a backpack slung over his shoulder. But other than that, that's about it. A little on edge from the night before, but
All right.
trying to trust his gut in this moment.
Um, as you step up to the Nightmare's stable, it looks empty. Not many people in this part of town at all, really. You step through the door. A modest bar room awaits you. A couple handful of tables, all empty, other than the barkeep, a kind of tall, bald man who's sitting behind the counter of the bar, reading a book silently. What do you do?
I think actually for right now, I'm going to find a more secluded table if I can, and kind of post up there and keep my eye on who's coming in.
Okay, you're just heading to the side.
And while I'm there, I'll also order a tank of cider.
Okay, you walk up to the man behind the counter. Kind of glances at you from behind his book. He seems like he's not that interested in it. He's just kind of passing the time. He says, you, you want some? What do you need for the drink?
um, Hi. Um, Hello. Cider, if you have it.
Of course, of course. What are you doing here on this fine morning?
Tremendous question, actually. Um, I think I'm supposed to be meeting someone.
You here for the circus? He gestures out the back window. And you can see in the backyard area of this pub, looks like there's some people scattered in the yard. 6 or 7 people. There seems to be a carriage. There seems to be some brightly colored tents. There's a circle of people sitting around a fire. He just kind of like casually gestures to that side.
Um, no, actually, I didn't know that was here. Uh,
He shrugs.
Fantastic. All right. No, that'll be all for me for right now. Thank you.
All right. He hands you your cider. Um, and we cut now back to the front of this bar. The second person to arrive, Eric, can you describe your character, what they're wearing, what they're feeling in this moment?
Very nervous. It's kind of jittery. His fingers are twitching a little bit. He's got pretty drab clothes on. He's a human male in his maybe late 40s, early 50s. He's got long graying hair with a big bushy graying beard. He's got a hood over his head, and he has a hawk nestled on his shoulder. As he kind of looks at a piece of paper in his hand, looks at the bar, and then walks in.
Right, you walk into this empty bar. You can see the remnants of the conversation that Richard, who you don't know, and the barkeep have just had. There is an emptiness to this room. What is your first move?
I'll walk up to the bartender and just go, "Busy night?"
Kind of, he looks up at you. Ah, another one. You here for the circus as well?
"Yeah, the circus."
All right, just don't cause too much trouble. All right, what do you want to drink?
Whatever's on tap, whatever's got. I'm not too picky.
Well, I just served that man over there cider. Do you want some cider?
Cider? No, just beer, ale, whatever you got.
Gotcha. He
Is this cool if my friend hangs out in here? I don't know.
Your hawk. Well, how big is your bird?
Big as a hawk.
Okay, it's a big bird.
I mean, a hawk's not
like
huge. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like
5-6 feet.
Okay,
yeah.
But it's not a sparrow. It's a hawk.
No,
okay.
yeah, it's a hawk.
It's kind of perched on your shoulder. He says, "All right, as long as it's not flying around here free, you're free to keep it here. But honestly, I would take it outside."
Yeah, no problem. Then it'll just poof out of existence.
He looks confused, but then just kind of shrugs and pours your beer. You're standing there with your beer. One other person in this room. You kind of look out. You do see the group of gathering of people in the back. What do you do?
I'll try to sit at is it like a long bar with like?
Yeah, long bar.
I'll sit at like one end of the bar and just kind of keep an eye out for the people I'm looking for.
Okay. You take station at the bar. We cut now to the outside to our third adventurer. Sophie, can you describe your character, what they look like, what they're carrying, how they're feeling in this moment as you approach the bar?
Yeah, they are wearing shabby, thick leather armor that almost looks like hides. It's been worn down so much it's kind of tattered at the edges, but it is pretty bulky. They look like they've been road weary and battle tested, with a red scarf tied around their neck, blonde hair spilling out, and Petra, as she's known, approaches the bar with suspicion. They look tired, a little haunted almost, as they walk in with a full-on like scan of the bar, looking in all the corners, checking for anybody suspicious. They've been guided here, and they don't take that guidance lightly. And they are looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Right, you trepidatiously step into the bar. I would say as soon as you step into the bar, you can see a couple people that I have described before. A man in front of you has just poofed a hawk from his shoulder, off of his shoulder, and then sits down at the bar. Another man in the side drinking a cider. Barkeep by himself. What do you do?
They look at the two other people, the two other patrons at the bar, kind of consult some notes and pull a chair out at a table that they can see both the entrance and everyone else in the room, and just wait for other people to approach, kind of like suspiciously eyeing both the other people, well, the two other people and the bartender, like going back and forth, like.
All right. As you suspiciously eye, the barkeep kind of shouts a little at you. Hey there, no soliciting. You gonna buy something?
I walk up to the bar and, yeah, do you have any food here?
We have some snacks. We got pretzels. Not much. We have beer, cider. Let's see. You want peanuts?
Sure.
Great. He kind of
I pay in like loose coppers.
He looks so annoyed at that, as he kind of also kind of loosely, haphazardly pours a bunch of pretzels and peanuts in a little tray for you. As you're at the bar, you're kind of sitting right next to this other man that you don't know, who's in the middle of drinking a big tankard of ale. Do you go back to your perch in the corner of the room?
I do.
All right, you head back to the corner of the room. And of course, last but not least, the last to arrive, although all four of you seem to have arrived mostly at the same time, whether by happenstance or circumstance. Zach, can you please describe your character, who they are, what they're wearing, how they're feeling?
Yes. My character, his name is Gabe Astrum. And he walks in the bar. He has long black hair, the top of which is pulled back into a tie on the back of his head. Somewhat scruffy, but mainly trimmed black beard. He has two asymmetrical scars that go down his face, and wears dark leather and metal armor. And I walk in feeling wary, but with a purpose. And I'm assuming I see.
Yep, you walk
everything.
in, see the whole scene in front of you.
I see two people that I recognize. And I walk forward. Richard.
As seeing him walk through the door, I think I like cough up my cider omelet into my. Hello, Gabe. Hello.
Well, I suppose I should have maybe expected this for some reason. Petra. I'm not surprised to see you again.
Oh, you two know each other as well.
Yes. Cross
Hello.
paths.
Hello. Hi there.
Hello, Brother Astrum. This is a surprise. I would like to talk to you when you have a moment.
I have a feeling, sister, that we all should talk to each other. I just reach into underneath my armor and I pull out a card that has the mercenary on it.
Oh, no way.
I'm assuming.
Oh, hello. Yes.
Seeing them all holding up cards, I'll walk over and just like slap mine down at the table.
Oh.
An incredibly small, tiny world. This is so interesting.
I'm afraid we've not made an acquaintance. My name is Gabriel Astrum.
Salvatore Gianucci.
Pleasure to meet you, Salvatore.
Pleasure's all mine. So hopefully I'm not interrupting anything. Hope I
It seems
didn't know
you
if you
are.
guys were just playing cards or thought I took a leap of faith.
You didn't see the cards that we held up.
Just saw cards and exactly see what was on them.
Well, you trusted your instinct well, my friend.
Always do.
Perhaps we should all grab a table.
I think
you're
we're
all
at one right now.
welcome to join where I'm sitting.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, sorry, that's
Pretty much. Yeah, that's right. That's
Oh,
right.
well,
Posted.
and I pull my chair back and sit down. Great. I'm glad that there's enough room here.
Walk over and leave the peanuts behind at the.
Yep. All right, you all.
Sister, I'm surprised you're not traveling. Oh, sorry.
You all find yourself at the same table. You all comparing these cards, strangely similar, yet different, odd, interesting.
So, I'm going to assume we all had incredibly unsettling dreams lately.
Yes, I didn't know if that was shared. Mine was of a woman behind a darkened veil,
Same.
speaking in riddles.
As
I've
was
been
I.
suffering from them for a few weeks, as a matter of fact.
She knew things about me that I've never told anyone before. So I thought I was going crazy. But now I know at least 3 other people are just as crazy as I am.
Sister, I do not feel Belinus's touch on this communication. Do you agree?
No, I do not, which is why it was a surprise to see you, but a welcome one.
Well, he does provide that which we need, and it seems for this we needed each other.
Oh, are you both god people?
Yes, Petra, as you remember, maybe, that I am a member of the Order of Astrum for the god of Belinus, and my sister here is a member of a different order.
Metaphorical sister, not actually.
Spiritual sister.
Oh, correct. Not. That's weird.
At this moment, the back door of the Nightmare's stable opens, and you see a man coming in from the back. He is dressed in bright, bright colors, opulent dress, kind of flowing robes. He is older, maybe in his 60s, but he is kind of lithe and spry. And he opens the door, and his eyes go wide at all 4 of you sitting at this table. And he kind of rushes over to your table and says, "Oh, yes, my friends, my friends! Oh, it is so good to see you, so good to see you!" He comes around to each of you and kind of grabs onto your shoulder and onto your arms. He's a toucher. And he says, my name is Stanimir. I am so glad that you have come. I am so glad. Please, please, come with me out to the back. Please, you are welcome. You're welcome here. He kind of steps and gestures to the open door to the back.
I want to do an insight check on this guy.
Yes, absolutely. All right, first roll.
That cleric, do your thing.
It's an 11 only, even with a +6.
Okay, with your insights, that's usually pretty good. He's seems excited for sure, like almost like he's seen a lost friend in you, even though it doesn't seem like any of you have ever met this guy. But genuine, earnest, honest, and at least in this moment, seems like a friend.
Do I?
What was he
I
wearing?
you know this man?
Did you say what he was wearing?
Yes, he is wearing brightly colored robes.
Now I know I'm getting up there in age, friend, but I don't believe I've had the pleasure of your acquaintance before.
He goes, eyes go wide. Oh, I'm sorry we haven't officially met, but I mean, I know of you from Madame Ava, of course, and I have to admit it is a pleasure to be in your presence. I have so much to tell you. Of course, now that you are here and with me, you are a family to me and the Vistani, of course.
Instead of Madame Ava.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
know all of us.
Yes, I do know.
I
all
look
of you.
to my four companions, and I say, or three companions, and I say, I don't know about all of you, but I think this man was mentioned to me in my dream.
Yep.
Yep.
Sort of
I
putting
just look
that
back at my
together.
notes. Yep. Lead on, fancy coat man.
Yeah,
Stand up.
prophecies are always a really super great thing.
What is? How do you,
Very well.
Matt? How do you pronounce that name again?
Stanimir, Stanimir.
And the name of the madam.
Madam Ava, EVA is what he said. And neither of these names rings any bell for any of you.
Mm-hmm.
But he does kind of gesture with a huge smile on his face and walks over towards the back door. You see, he has, while he's waiting for you, he has a quick, quiet conversation with the barkeep, who visibly rolls his eyes. And then Stanimir kind of laughs and tries to like grab the barkeep's shoulder, but the barkeep kind of moves out of the way. And then sits in the entrance, the back entrance, and says, "Hurry, hurry, please! You're missing a story."
Okay.
After you. Follow him.
I shrug and walk with him towards the man.
All right, you all get up from the table, head out the back door. And as soon as you kind of head out this back door, you notice a scene of people, probably 8 people. There are, a couple of adults. There's a couple of children, all wearing kind of the same brightly colored outfits that really stand out amongst the casual attire of the city of Daggerford. There is a tent that is set up, and there is a little tiny stage, and there are some stumps and some chairs set up in front of the stage. There is a brightly colored carriage wagon and some horses off to the side, kind of off in the grass. This is just a big grassy stage, essentially. And you see all the people are kind of sit at rapt attention. A few people playing soft, melancholy music. Although melancholy to a point, it is somewhat upbeat and jovial, although foreign to you. And they seem to be listening to some older man tell a story. And you see Stanimir head over to the side, gesture wildly for you to come over, and he kind of sits next to these group of people and just begins to listen intently to whatever this man on stage is saying.
I just want to lean down to Gabe and just be like, "Circus. It's a circus."
I've put 2 and 2 together myself, friend. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Can you guys all make perception checks?
Come on.
Sure. I know what my stats are total.
Ugh.
Perception.
Got a 3.
18.
14.
Now 20.
Nice. Cool. Okay. Petra, you are used to surveying your surroundings when there are new things about. This is something that you take great pride in. You immediately understand that these people here all are close to each other, not just like physically, but they all seem like they're a part of like some family. You can see the kids are running around in circles having fun. Some of the adults are kind of laughing and grabbing each other. The man on stage is using these wild hand gestures to convey something. You can hear him say, "I got to the woods, and there it was." Everyone goes, "It was a wolf!" Ah! Everyone kind of cried. The kids kind of screech. And I took it, and I said, "Wolf, not today." And the wolf cowered from me. And the wolf cowered from me. And everyone in the crowd goes wild. And I said, "Not today, wolf. You shall stand down from me." And everyone starts erupting in applause. Stanimir looks to you like, "Come on, like applause, applause."
I applaud.
you see a little kid, maybe 7, in similarly brightly colored clothes, comes up to you, Richard, and kind of tugs on your clothes.
Okay,
Says,
not too tight. That's enough. That's enough.
I recognize you. Who are you?
Do you? How do you recognize me?
I don't know. You just have a familiar face.
How do I have a familiar face?
I don't know. Are you here to come tell a story? Please, come on. Please tell a story. Please tell a story.
Oh no, absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
Oh, why not?
Can I get an insight check? What's this kid about?
Yes. Make an insight check.
What the fuck's he up to? I don't like this.
Fuck kids.
I mean, I'm always team kill the kid. Plus 2. 19.
This kid seems to like genuinely recognize you, although you definitely don't recognize the kid at all. Although, you know, maybe in like kind of a childish, like, oh, like you seem kind of fun way. But he is definitely kind of latched on to you specifically for some reason, and is really bummed when you say you don't want to tell a story.
Are your parents around? Do you have family?
Yes, they're here. Kind of gestures to a woman in her maybe 40s sitting by nearby.
I'll tell you. What's your name?
My name is Boris.
Boris. Fantastic. I'll tell you what, Boris. If your mum will go ahead and give me about 10 gold, I'll tell you a story, absolutely.
You see him run off and start tugging on his mom's cloak. Meanwhile, Stanimir comes up to the rest of you with a big bottle of wine. You can see on the label of this wine, it says, Red Dragon Crush. And there's like a little symbol of a dragon curled around a vineyard. He pours you all glasses. And he says, please partake in the wine. It is, now that you are here with us, the Vistani, you are like family to us. So please, take a second to familiarize yourself. Of course, the Vistani here, we are happy to get you drunk or get you fed or, of course, tell a story. That's the lifeblood of the Vistani.
Does he pour himself a drink?
Yes.
I wait until he drinks it first.
He doesn't seem to notice that you're waiting, and he pours himself, drinks it a little bit. It
What's
seems
going
like most of the people are drinking this same wine.
Is the Vistani your traveling troupe?
He says, yes, you could say that. We are wanderers. We travel. We are people that like to visit the wonders of the world. And now that you are here, who have been accepted into our tribe, whether you like it or not, of course, there is no pressure to partake in any of our customs, but I will say that I'm about to go up and tell my own story, and I am would be honored if any of you would want to come up and tell a story. These people would love it if you would come. And it doesn't have to be exciting. It doesn't have to be even real. Just something to get them titillated.
I'll turn to Gabe. I was just about to say before I sat down, if there's audience participation, I'm out of here.
I'm not necessarily keen to tell a story myself.
I'm not.
Steinmeier, what is the purpose of this? Why have you dragged us here?
He kind of seems to like remember himself in this moment. He's kind of excited about the story and the wine. He says, oh, sorry, I should have said. I am going to take you all to see Madame Eva. She is incredible. She is a Raoni. She sees beyond the threads of fate in a way that no other person or Vistani does. She knows you. There's a reason that you are here right now.
I don't want to speak for my companions, but the sooner we could meet this Madame Eva, the more I would be satiated.
I'm not in a rush.
Oh, good. Please. He kind of touches your shoulder. It doesn't seem to have any physical touch boundaries. And he says, please, if you're not in a rush, just on stage and just please tell a story. For me, it would be a huge favor.
I mean, after you, I'll follow you, Hotshot.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 17.
He nods a little disappointed and says, all right, how about this? It is my turn, and of course the Vistani, our stories are how we communicate. There's no need for money as a Vistani, we just like to tell tales of the world. So I will tell my tale to these waiting people, and then we will leave post haste. I have my carriage and my 2 horses here, and he gestures over to the beautiful carriage. It is rainbow colored swirls on the side of it, and there are swooping outlines and looks like windows in the side, pretty spacious, and 2 brown draft horses out front. Looks beautiful, ornate. He says, it would be my pleasure to drive you to see Madame Mabel. She is somewhat nearby, but first. And he kind of steps up onto the stage, and he kind of gestures for you all to take a seat in front.
I sit down.
I take a seat, and I am reluctant, but then I smell the wine, and it smells really good, and so I start drinking it.
All right, the wine, when you taste it, is pretty good. I mean, it's not like incredible, but it's good. Red Dragon Crush wine. And as he sits down at this, stands up at this stage, the Boris little boy comes over to you, Richard, and says, oh, Stanimir he's the best storyteller in the Vistani. Oh, I can't wait. And he kind of is still tugging onto your clothes despite your earlier warning.
All right, that's really fantastic. I'm going to let you know something, Boris. My clothes are actually really expensive, and when you grab them like this, it just, oh dear, it can get a little bit not as nice as they currently are. So if you could stop doing that, that's a great boundary I would love to establish between you and myself. How about that?
He takes his hands off and he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad at me.
Not mad at you. We just established a boundary. That's a totally healthy thing for 2 people to do to each other. All right?
He seems to respect that boundary in this moment. And then you see Stanimir on stage, command attention. All of the other Vistani here sit in rapt attention, silence. He takes a big swig of the wine, and he spits it into the fire. As he does, the flames turn from orange to green, and they dance and sway. And as they do, a dark shape appears in the bonfire's core. We come from an ancient land, whose name is long forgotten, a land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. The dark shape in the fire takes the form of a man being knocked from his horse. Let's see?
Ooh.
And as this shape appears, you can see it looks like a man with a spear piercing his side, wrapped up in the flames as he tells his story, and he continues. One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with wine, and he survived. When we asked him who he was, he would not say. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him as one of his own and followed him back to his homeland. His enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves. Deep in the fire, you see the dark figure standing with a sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. This man of royal blood fought to protect us, Vistani, as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish, leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe that disperses into a cloud of smoke and embers. Danimir's face becomes subdued in this moment. A curse has befallen our noble prince, however, turning him into a tyrant. But This is not a story of failure or sorrow. The road to absolution runs intertwined with this tale, lashing it at all sides with light. Whether you are a beggar on the streets, unsure of who you truly are, or a charlatan caught between the worlds of your own endeavors, or a mercenary alone in reseeking your purpose, or a cowed man trying to emerge from his secrets. This, my friends, is what redemption looks like. It is not coincidence that you four are here before me. I take you now to see Madame Eva, a hero to the Vastani people, and know that this is your destiny. And the fire ignites and then vanquishes, gone, just burning ash. All the other Vastani kind of look in silence, waiting for you four to react.
Petra begins applauding.
I'll stand up.
It's a good story. This is good wine.
Bravo!
As you both begin to clap, all the Vastani join in. Yes, Stanimir! They'll clap enthusiastically, and he takes a big, gratuitous bow. And then he kind of winks at you, Gabe, and says, all right, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, but please, if you would like, we can leave now.
Wait, didn't Salvatore say he has a story also?
I can't follow that.
He looks, thank you so much for reminding me. Please, what was your name again? And he looks to you.
Me?
Yes, please.
Salvatore.
Salvatore. A beautiful name. It sounds like a name of the Vastani, if I wouldn't be surprised. Please, you did promise a story. These people are waiting.
Is it only stories? I've never been much of a storyteller.
You can entertain with whatever tale you please.
Excellent. You got any water?
Of course. Alana, and a small, 7-year-old girl runs over to one of the nearby tents and brings out a big jug of water.
Perfect.
She runs over and grabs it and gives it to you.
You got any? Anybody know how to play a tune? Anybody musicians you got back there?
As you say that, one guy in the back with a violin pops up and says, I can accompany you, of course. What style
Beautiful.
of music do you want? Somber or energetic?
Something upbeat. Something you can dance to.
All right. He begins playing a little ditty. And you're now on stage by yourself. What do you do?
I'll start with my back to the audience, holding the jug of water, and I'll give the guy a nod to start playing, or he's already playing, and then I'll kind of spin around and flourish, and my cape will kind of open up, and I'll splash the water over the audience, but I'll cast shape water, and then just kind of do like a water dance with the water and the audience to the music.
Incredible. Okay, couple things. When you cast the spell Shape Water, what does it look like? What are your components, and how do you look through the spell in your spell book?
It's just, there's no components, just semantics. I pull out my spell book and flip to the page and just kind of start speaking in whatever incantation it is, and my eyes start to almost go black as the water is dancing around. And my spell book is, if I could describe it in a word, chaos. There's just it looks like someone trying to do something in a hurry. There's just notes everywhere, pages shoved in, like pieces of paper that have just been put in, not even bound to it. So it's just a mess.
Cool. And I need you to make a performance check.
Yep. I am not a bard. +1. 14.
All right, so you throw the water and there's a gasp. And as you cast the spell from your book and the water begins to dance around, the Vastani look on in astonishment. Boris, the little child next to Richard, Oh my god! Oh my god! Stanimir looks proud. Oh, I knew that you would come here and tell a great story. It doesn't have to be with words. Everyone starts clapping ferociously as you do your performance. Is that it?
That's it.
All right.
I'll just walk off stage like, well, ready to go.
Stanimir looks at you fondly and says, all right, okay. Please, this way. I believe there is enough room in the carriage for all four of you to fit spaciously. There of course will be some food and some wine. It is a short trip on carriage to see Madame Eva. We have another Vistani encampment not far.
How long is short?
A few hours.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Well,
right.
free stuff, so yeah.
All right, he opens the door of this beautiful carriage. I mean, it looks like whoever designed this carriage was very artistically endowed. There is splashes of every color of the rainbow kind of swirling in beautiful patterns around the kind of slanted, curved sides of this carriage. When he opens it, it is spacious. There are 4 seats in here, 2 facing the forward, 2 facing back, so that you can, sit across from each other. There is in the center a tray with another bottle of this red dragon crush wine, and there are like finger foods and snacks, crackers and meats sitting in a tray in the middle. He says, "Please, I can any luggage or packs that you have, we can store on top or up front with me. But please make yourself at home. I want you to know that this is a safe place for you."
Oh my god, is that a cucumber sandwich? Holy shit.
Yes, it is a delicacy here for the Vistani, cucumbers. I hope you like it.
I love it. I want to have my fine familiar just like circling us.
Okay.
Above
All right. Your hawk takes up into the sky.
It's a really cool trick you got there. I really like it.
Oh, you talking about linguine?
Yes, I am. Assuming that's
Dave.
its name.
He's a good bird.
Absolutely. Fascinating, man. You are so interesting.
Thank you. You're quite the shiny, opulent fellow.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten into the carriage.
All right, Richard, you take your way into the carriage. Yeah, I mean, do you all follow suit into the middle of this carriage?
Yes. Petra, it's like she has to like adjust her armor and her packs and like the large maul that she carries in order to like comfortably fit into and then sit down in this carriage.
Stanimir looks at you and says, "I can, if you want, I can store your weapon up top, so you have a little bit more comfortability. But of course, if you don't want to part with it, that's up to you."
No, I'd rather keep my hands on it. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. This is so exciting. I believe that you're going to love Madame Eva. She is incredible visionary to the Vistani people. And you all 4 climb into the back.
Yep. If you don't mind, Matt, sorry. I step up on the back of the carriage to throw my pack up on top of the carriage. I keep my weapon on me, but I throw the pack up there. And as I do that, while I'm kind of like out of sight, I grab onto my holy symbol because I'm feeling very uneasy about the ease of all of this. And so I'm going to use one of my divine senses
Nice.
to see if there are any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of me.
Okay. You hold on to your holy symbol. Do you say any words to your god?
Yeah, I grab my holy symbol, which is just a sun with like the burning tendrils off to the side of it, rather sharp and pokey, actually. But I grab that holy symbol and I say, Ben honest, I do not feel at ease with my company. Let my eyes see those that wish to hide. And I cast the divine
Right.
sense.
I'm undead.
As you, as you cast divine sense, you're at ease. Not because you feel any response from your god in this moment. The responses from your god have been few and far between recently. But you're at ease because you realize that there are none of any of those around you. Um, Nothing about Stanimir or these Vistani seem to be fiendish, fey, undead at all.
Okay, perfect. Then I would just put my pack up top and then jump down and into the carriage.
All right. As you're all four in the carriage, he closes the door. You hear him get up top to the front, and you hear him exclaim, "All right, everyone. We should be there shortly. Please partake whatever hors d'oeuvres that you want. Sugar, sunrise." Ah! And the carriage begins to take off. A little bit bumpy. There is windows on either side that are blocked currently by a drawn curtain, so you can kind of see where you're going. But for now, you are all in the back of this carriage. What do you do?
Am I the only one that feels uneasy with this place that we find ourselves in?
No.
I mean, no.
I think it'd be crazy not to. But I mean, what other choice do we have?
No, of
You know?
course, the smart move is to continue on, see what information we can get. But I
Look, if
don't
it
know,
stops the
this-
creepy woman in our dreams from being a creepy woman in our dreams, then I'm all for it.
I agree that
Right.
we'll learn more from this by not going.
I'll look at Gabe. You're tenser than usual.
I have been since you last saw me. More tense.
Well, tense for a moment.
How have you been? It's been some time. To be honest, I didn't know if I'd ever see you again.
I also did not think I would ever see you again. Not that I didn't enjoy our last meeting. It was just, you know.
No, of course,
it's
I
just-
wasn't. I didn't think that. Yep,
No, of
that's
course.
what you were referring. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Lots of work, for the most part. You know, life of a traveler. You just go from place to place, not really finding it, I guess.
Right.
What about the two of you? You do things?
Yes, perhaps we should get to know each other.
Well, it
Salvatore,
seems like
I think
you
the one year that we.
three know
Well,
each
well.
other. You guys are all prior acquaintances.
Well, I know of Richard and I know of Petra, but I think that is those are the only pre-existing.
Know anything of Richard?
Yeah, I mean, Salvatore's the name, Magic's the game. We're just weary traveler.
And your
So
name
that
was
you are
Petra.
sorry.
Correct.
And you do.
I am of the Order of Tenebris, and from the same following of my brother here. We are an order of hunting those things that would challenge the light. Monsters, men, it matters not.
The sister is being humble. They are a monster slayer.
Well, hey, that makes two of us.
Oh shit!
You are a mercenary, you mean?
I do a bit of work here and there, but no, I slay monsters, of course. You know, I get paid for it, but it is what it is.
You guys are a couple of badasses then.
I don't know about that. Just good person, earnestly helping a lot of people.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, not all of us can bend water to our will. That was quite
I was
impressive.
about to say that was not
Very
that was not an unimpressive.
Man, that's
step.
child's play. Teach you that in a week. Maybe not a week. I don't know. But man, thank you.
I simply swing an axe with a strength of more than that the average man. That's what I have for my name.
No. Don't sell yourself
can't do
short.
that.
You can have some holy, flashy-pashy stuff in your
Every
stuff.
once in a while, Baroness graces me with his gift.
Yes, you two are blessed by a god. You can do all sorts of magic. I truly can't even cast message. Not a magical bone in my body.
I wouldn't be so quick to say that.
Whoa. Just taking a sip of wine.
Trying to change the subject, I do look to Gabe and say, "Oh, so what card did you receive?"
Oh, me?
I put my card on the table. Oh, I thought sorry.
I did
I
say
still do that.
Oh, I
but-
didn't hear the Gabe part.
I put my card on the table. Mercenary, which is such a simplification of who I
That's
actually
a good
am.
one. What did you both get?
What does it say?
Charlatan.
Oh, it's like the actual card. Awesome.
Sure, I'm not going to lie. When I saw Richard, I assumed that he would be the charlatan.
Rude, but we can unpack that later. What did Salvatore? What did you get?
Hooded one.
Okay, you all got really cool, mysterious shit. I
The
got
beggar.
the beggar, this old woman. Apparently, that's me. And I don't
Are you-
beg. I offer. I have a high standard of. I know what my worth is, and I sort of demand that. Apparently, that makes me a beggar.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
if
not begging
she
for
fits-
money. But in a solid request.
You all hear Stanimir from the front yell out, "No!" And the carriage comes to a violent, sudden stop. Anything
I
that
wanna-
is not tied down flies. You all kind of crumble and fly into each other.
I want to look through my familiar. I
Yes. Can you make a perception check?
Is it my perception or is I think it's the
No,
hawk,
familiar. It's the
Yeah.
familiar's perception. So the perception of a hawk, which can't be bad.
which is probably pretty good. +4.
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
12.
You're
Bad roll,
looking.
though.
You can like look through its eyes, right?
Yeah.
You look.
My eyes go like white or they go black, and I just kind of like sit there.
I like how white was up, but black was. You were like, they go white. Nope, they go black. You were like wiping them as you were saying it.
Windshield wipers.
As
Yeah.
you look through the eyes of Linguini, it is nothing but thick mist and fog. Like suffocating, clawing fog. And you swear you can see a face in the fog. A devilish grin right at the precipice. And then Linguini, your vision's gone. Linguini disappears.
Fuck, Linguini. Oh, we may have some trouble. I just lost connection with my bird. Might want to ready your weapons. Get off the book.
Stanimir, are you there?
No response.
Okay, that's really not great. All right, weapons out.
All right. What do? You leave the carriage?
Yeah, I pull out my axe and my shield, which is strapped to my back, and I just like barrel out of the carriage and immediately look around to see what I see.
Okay. Gabe, can you make a perception check for me?
Yes, I'm so good at this.
I do not leave the carriage.
Nice. Okay.
That's a 9.
You are good at this.
I haven't rolled above a 10 yet. What'd you say?
All right. As you barrel out, you realize that your carriage is in the middle of a rude, muddy path through a thick forest. The trees are looming and very, very close together, almost like the edges of the trees are desperately trying to make their way onto this path. There is thick mist all around that really obscures your vision. One thing you realize instantly is the two horses that were pulling your carriage are gone. Stanimir is gone. And you see that the right front wheel of this carriage is broken and shattered, stuck in like a rut of mud in the middle of this path.
I would, I steel myself and I say, Wellness, please give me your light. And I tap my axe on my shield, and my shield, I'm going to cast light on my shield. And kind of like as I'm holding the shield, like use that as a light. And then I'll just look back in the carriage and say, we definitely have trouble. And then I'm just going to start like walking around the carriage.
All right, as you cast the light spell, you're used to the lights almost of the sun illuminating the space around you, but this mist, this fog, chokes the light from your spell. And it's kind of a hazy, dim morning in this moment, but there is no sun in the sky. It is hidden behind dark clouds. Your light spell is not quite as effective. It just like can't quite give you a vantage point through this mist.
Yeah, no worries. I think I would just have it up for like the placebo effect, like just thinking that I'm doing something as I walk around.
All right, what did the rest of you do? Petra.
As I leave the carriage, would touch both my holy symbol and the amber necklace around my neck, and would do one of my class features, which is
I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, but you're just a little quiet for me. So,
I would touch my holy symbol and the amber necklace and make a quick prayer to use a class feature called Vigilant Blessing, that until the next initiative roll, I have advantage on said initiative roll.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Can you also make a investigation check for me?
Mm-hmm. Which was one of the next things I wanted to do anyway. 11 plus 14 total.
There is no sign of the horses or Stanimir.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there are no tracks. The forest and these trees are so close together, almost like it's impenetrable. There's no way a horse could fit through into the forest. And another thing you notice that maybe kind of slipped Gabe's mind is that the bright swirling colors of the side of this carriage are dim and cracked and peeling. Your best guess is that this carriage has not moved from this spot in 10 years.
This is some sort of trick. Wizard, can you...
The name's Salvatore.
Salvatore, I'm sorry.
That's fine. What was your question?
Do you have some way of penetrating this illusion?
No, I do not. Not that I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't. No. As I'm like looking through my book. When Linguini was dissipated, can I tell if like something hit it or if it was just like dismissed or something like that?
Roll an Arcana check.
There you go. That's what wizards are good at.
Well, I rolled a 7. But plus 6, 13.
Not only do you think that Linguini was dismissed by something, whether it was this slightly malevolent face in the mist, but you think that Linguini is irrevocably changed in some way.
God damn it. Linguini! Well, I can't break through the illusion, but I know Linguini was dismissed out of some sort of magical means, so maybe whatever happened to Linguini happened to this carriage.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's an illusion. That's what I'm saying.
I pull out my warhammer and test the fog, like pressing the warhammer into the fog.
As you press the warhammer into the fog, the fog moves, but it's thick and it seems to kind of claw onto the warhammer as if to try to prevent it from pushing through. But there's not a ton of physical resistance, and you're able to push it through.
I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself.
I will, seeing everyone else is getting out of the carriage, I'm gonna get to the edge of it before I actually step down, grab kind of the lip of it where the getting like onto the top of it, and I'll just do like a front, like tuck myself up and then like flip up onto the top.
Definitely make an acrobatic check.
Cool. I'm good at that. I'm
Yeah.
good at
Really
that.
good at that.
19.
Okay, yeah. Incredible feat of agility that you see Richard pull off to flip up to the top.
Holy
of
shit!
I can do stuff sometimes if it's
That's impressive.
eh,
I can't do that. That's more impressive to me than shaping a little water.
not to me. We all have our skills here. Anyway,
Goddamn right.
considering I have just kind of flavor texting it, I have the alert feat.
Yep.
Just kind of opening up my surroundings, making sure that nothing is watching us or like about to pounce on us at any moment.
Yeah, make a perception check. Alert feat is helpful in this situation.
+4 dirty 20.
You look to the trees beside. I mean, this road is not that wide, maybe 8-9 feet across from tree to tree. The giant trees that loom on the side of the road, the branches are kind of clawing at the mist, and you know for sure that something is watching you, but you don't see it. And in fact, if there were things in these forests that are watching you, it would be very easy to hide. I mean, the trees are like in almost impenetrable darkness.
As low as I can so that just the three of them can hear me. We're not alone. Not sure what, but it's not just us out here.
I dispel my light and I look up at Richard. Pass me my pack, if you will.
Yep, I'll throw.
Grab it, put it on. I have a feeling staying here is not in our cards, my friends. I feel like we should move.
I second that.
Dagger. What the dagger place? Dagger Heart, whatever. Dagger Ford.
Daggerfall.
We can certainly try.
Do we know which way we came?
Opposite way the cart's facing.
Didn't we say that there? Sorry, Matt. Did you say that there was like no tracks?
Yeah. I mean, the cart is facing a direction that I mean, there's a little bit of weirdness going on here, but you assume that the carriage that you're riding would have made tracks, or especially with hooves. None of that. But I mean, like Salvatore said, the carriage is facing a direction, so you would assume that maybe the opposite direction is back the way you came.
Sound plan. 2 points of interest. 1, no tracks on the ground from where our carriage was riding just a few minutes ago with horses. And 2, I don't know if our carriage would fit through these trees.
Well, we don't have any horses. Were you planning on carrying it?
No, just stating some weird facts that I'm noticing. Just throwing it out there.
I have a feeling that no matter what direction we face or head, we will wind up where we are needed. But sure, trying to head back the same way wouldn't hurt.
Well, I don't know if anybody else knows the area, if there's a town closer. I'm kind of lost out here.
We
Yeah,
went on the
none of you recognize these forests. I think most of you recognize the geography of the area close to Daggerford. This, where you are, is not close to Daggerford.
We're
Done
not
a
in
lot
Daggerford
of
anymore.
Done a lot of traveling. Don't know if I've been to these woods.
Yes, exactly. I feel that we well, magic is afoot here. It is a dark magic.
So we definitely shouldn't just like wait here for help.
No,
Right.
probably
I
not.
feel like we would die of starvation.
Oh, but we do have. I'll flip back down, and I'll shove some of the food that was still in our carriage into my pack. That's easy enough to travel with.
Yep.
Does the food look like it's aged or no?
Food looks great. Cucumber sandwiches look beautiful, delicious.
I'll snag one before it goes near.
Yeah.
Does anything else inside the carriage look as aged as the outside, or is it just the
No,
outside?
the inside of the carriage looks just as you had found it or traveled in it.
What
So
about
now
like the
those
packs that
carry,
were
like,
on the
in-
outside?
Gabe, can you make an investigation check?
Yeah, sure. I have a negative one this time. 12.
Your traveling pack is filled with rocks. Everything else in it is gone.
I was looking into my pack to see what rations I had while this was going on. I discovered the rocks, and then I just sigh heavily and turn it upside down and let all the rocks fall out so that everybody can see.
Now, why did you only bring rocks?
Yeah, do you travel with that? So you're like,
Salvatore, you both know I did not
visions.
pack rocks in my pack.
I don't know.
I just met you.
I did not pack rocks in my pack.
Oh shit, that's strange then.
some devilry is afoot.
Exactly.
All right, I would love to start walking in a direction that isn't here.
Agreed. I start
Yeah.
walking in the opposite direction that the carriage faces.
Okay.
You
I'll
can, you
try
can-
to stand so I'm not the last one or the first one. So
Okay.
Yeah,
be the first.
I would was just gonna say that Brother Astrum and I will do our best to keep you both safe.
This is gonna be a whole
Appreciate
thing,
it.
isn't it?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
As you continue down this road, it is slightly rough trudging. The dark water stand in this muddy road that kind of loom at you like black mirrors almost as you watch yourself slightly. You can see your reflection in these waters, tense, nervous, confused. You travel, Richard, looking out. You cannot shake the feeling that something is watching you. There's no movement. You don't see anything like specific, but it's leering in the back of your mind. And as you come maybe 15 minutes of walking, you come upon a road that widens ever so slightly. There are high stone buttresses that loom gray in the fog in front of you. There are huge iron gates that hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. These statues greet you with only silence. This gate is massive, and it seems to be some sort of entryway.
As I suspected, where we are needed.
and I'm guessing this isn't Daggerford. This isn't what it looked like when we
No,
left.
not Daggerford, definitely.
Can I
Did you
make
say-
perhaps a history check to see if this is any place that.
Yeah, make a history check.
Could I aid him in that?
Yes, you can roll advantage, Petra.
Hurt. I got the same number twice. Amazing.
Glad I helped.
Yeah, it was 15.
Your history check would tell you that these giant, incredibly tall statues are depicting soldiers of some sort. Although their livery and their sword and their armor indicates old. This gate has probably been here, you would guess, for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and it is neglected. It doesn't seem like anyone is around or is taking care of it or anything like that. It just sits here like a lost relic in the middle of this forest.
Gate closed.
It is.
I
No
suppose there's no point
gods.
in delaying the inevitable. I walk up to the gate and I pour.
As you walk up to the gates opens on its own. Its hinges squeaking like a moan in the forest, revealing a road beyond that disappears down a fog-filled forest path, deeper into what seems like a valley.
I look.
I didn't know you could do magic. That was a pretty cool trick with the door.
I look back at Salvatore. And I said, I cast shape door. So that's something that I can do.
Oh wow! So I'll write in my book, shape door. All right.
Well, I was expecting to see a castle beyond this gate.
Well, gods of any kind. Typically, walls come with someone watching them.
To be honest, I'm glad they're not guards here, because if there would be, they would be all bones, no skin.
Skeleton.
Yes, I was trying to be clever.
No, that was beautiful.
It was very poetic.
Clear.
Yeah, you're right. I should have just said skeleton.
I love it. I love it. All bones, no skin. All bones, no skin.
Moving
Make another
through
note.
those gates.
Yeah,
Right.
same.
Move through the gates, trepidatious.
Walking and quipping.
You're walking, quipping.
Walking quick.
Petra,
Yes.
can you make a investigation check for me?
That's no.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Nice.
You.
Wait, I might be able to do something. Hold on.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Out of your backpack.
I can have somebody re-roll.
All right, everybody, time to introduce
divination.
your
As a
second
reaction after your
character.
creature attack roll and ability check. Yeah. You are going to re-roll that.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Twice. Okay, use it twice.
It's an 18.
All right.
Hey, way to go, Eric.
Petra, your normally like heightened senses. There's a second where they're dulled, and you're looking around, maybe afraid of what's around, and don't quite catch it. But you realize that you don't catch it, and then there's a second where you kind of catch yourself. There's a glint in Salvatore's eyes, and then you kind of catch it on the wind. Smell of death. You look down at the ground. Wolf tracks nearby. 2 or 3 different ones. Kind of meandering up to a spot in some bushes near the edge of the road, probably 40 feet from you.
I would hush myself and get Gabe's attention with like a kind of a snap and point in the direction of the tracks as I start to follow them.
I pull back out my shield and my battle axe and I start to follow.
You, Petra, head over to this bush, and this scent and these tracks lead you to a human corpse that is half buried in the underbrush. And there's a young man. He appears to be a commoner, He's got muddy clothes that are torn and raked with claw marks. There are ravens or crows have been at the body, which is surrounded by paw prints. The man has been dead for probably a couple days, you would assume, but he does hold a crumpled envelope in one hand. And you would realize instantly that there's something wrong about this site. He has been clearly killed by wolves, but the wolves did not eat him or do anything of that kind. They just simply killed him, which is not the normal behavior of a wolf, that any wolf that you have seen.
Right. Knowing, I guess that's definitively like how he was killed, I wouldn't investigate that necessarily further, but I would look to the letter in his hands.
All right, so you pick up the letter and unfurl it to a handwritten note that I will show you.
Well, bless you.
There is written text here. If you want to read it, you can read it out loud or to yourself, whatever you deem. As you're doing that, though, Richard, Salvatore, what are you two doing?
Just try while they're like reading the letter and everything. I'm just trying to watch our back, see if anything is, coming for us.
Same.
Okay, both of you make perception checks.
Ten.
21.
If only my hawk was here.
These critical roll dice, they're doing me pretty good.
Mike or Richard.
That's me.
You turn around and you see, probably 100 feet behind you, near the gates that you just passed, is a single wolf, a somewhat large, silver-haired wolf. Beautiful, beautiful creature, standing, just staring, kind of the hair on the back of its neck slightly raised, and it is not moving towards you or backing away or snarling, just watching you.
Hello there. Everybody, we have company.
I finish reading the letter and pocket it and stand and look at the wolf.
Yes, this is a wolf that, you've never seen before, specifically the color of its hair, almost like gray silver. Bigger than a normal wolf. I think you would classify this as a dire wolf. It probably stands 5.5, 6 feet, its head. It's far away, 100 feet. That's not currently a threat. It doesn't seem to be, angered at you, just watching.
It's like a nice buddy. Good friend at a distance that won't try and get us.
Can I wave to the wolf?
Yes. You wave to the wolf. It does not move.
All right.
This unfortunate was done in by wolves.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
keep an eye on it, but perhaps keep
Fantastic.
moving forward.
Anyone remember from this is one of those animals that you show your aggression and it's totally fine with you, or do we need to back away from it slowly at a diagonal? What's the deal with this thing?
I wouldn't expect any of the wolves here, at least, to behave as normal animals.
Ominous.
So wolves usually don't travel alone, so I expect there's more than one.
Magic. It's your deal. That's your party, isn't it? Great. So leave that to you.
I say perhaps that we continue on our way and keep an eye out on our friends, see if they follow.
Yep.
All right.
Who's on wolf watch? Who's gonna watch the wolf?
My eyes do not work well in this area.
Mine either.
Taking up the rear, it seems, so I would also I would keep an eye on the wolf as we move
Okay.
forward.
Did you share with us the content of the letter?
I would, yes. So, Matt, if I can read it out loud.
If you want to read it out loud, you can right now to the stream, or I can.
Yep.
You can do it if you want.
Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Colliana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Cullinan Indirovich, Burgomaster.
Well,
You would all
welcome to
recognize
Barovia.
the word burgomaster to be a slightly archaic version of the word mayor.
Does anybody recognize this land's name? Barovia.
Would I recognize it?
Nope, no one recognizes it.
Quite the welcoming party.
Yes.
This guy was
Vampire.
trying to leave Barovia. Is that? And then he was killed on the way out.
I do not
Perhaps
know
he was the one that
was
set
the-
up this
if
magical
he was
bear
the-
prayer.
if he was the intended or if he was just the messenger.
Maybe he
Seems
was the
like-
burgomaster. Was he dressed in like noble clothes?
No, seems like a commoner.
Okay. Well, he wasn't the burgomaster himself. Maybe a messenger.
What did I just say? Bitten by a vampire.
It did.
It did say vampire.
Anyone have experience with those?
It was also
Petra?
spelled slightly odd. Vampire
Oh, with a Y.
with a Y.
But that's fun. Like a
Yeah, like
creepy
that.
way.
That is-
Like a creepy way.
Plural vampire. Is that?
They mention a singular, but I don't know if that's the archaic language or not. Either
It
way,
does seem that time is working weird here.
yes. Either way, I would expect that we have some undead, blood-sucking beast in our future.
Well, I'm glad I'm here with the three of you.
I mean, it's a vampire, right? Just one. It's not a big problem. They're so, their weaknesses are
None of us
like
is a giant
legendary.
vampire.
All their weaknesses are legendary, Stake through the heart, little sunshine. It's like falling off a log.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'll
it would
leave
be
the
that
vampire to
simple.
you then, buddy.
Well, I'm not saying I've done it, but I'm just saying, you know the rules.
You didn't happen to find any garlic in the carriage when you raided the food, did you?
Did I, Matt?
There's
You know what?
garlic bread.
You know what? Make a luck check. I'll say evens. You do find some garlic. How about
I rolled a 7.
that? No,
Oh.
no garlics. Lots of cucumbers though.
Unfortunate.
Some of the crackers were actually like a little garlicky, but I don't think it was
Hmm.
like
The
super-
moment you find some, you'll want to rub it all over your skin, just to be clear.
I don't love that.
No, it's
Oh, God.
unfortunate, but
Are the wolves following us?
do the trick.
As you look back, you catch the end of this silver direwolf as it jumps into the forest, disappears out of sight.
Oh,
Beautiful.
one problem. Maybe.
And then you all hear 10, 20, 30 howls in the distance.
All right, that's small problems.
They're just saying hello. I'm sure. Anybody here speak beast?
Can't say I do.
That'd have been convenient.
I speak Elvish. Bit of a joke. Nope. Okay.
That was a good joke, honestly. But I'm not there.
Who said that?
There's no one.
I'm not there. Okay. As you all continue to kind of trudge forward down this path, after about 10 minutes, the dense fog begins to slightly clear, and you can see that you are in the precipice of a valley between two large mountains. The valley stretches for miles and miles, and you can see long stretches of forest. There's a lake at the bottom of one of the mountains, but closest to you. In fact, you can tell now that the muddy ground underfoot has given way to slick, wet cobblestones, and there is a slight drizzle as this rain begins to soak everything that you own. It's not heavy rain, but it's the type of rain that just immediately drenches you.
Can I use shape water to like not get wet?
Yeah, yeah, you can give yourself like a personal umbrella.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. Can you at all extend that to anybody else?
No, I cannot.
Cool.
I mean, unless you all want to huddle up.
No, this shirt was just really nice. That's cool.
I'd take a moment and like embrace the rain. I think that would feel.
Yeah, Petra kind of does the same with a joking. I was due for a shower anyway.
I'm wearing a white silk shirt. This is immediately just
Come here, and I'll like pull him close to me.
All
Like,
right,
okay.
you have to be super close to Salvatore to be within the umbrella, the shape water umbrella. So you're
Okay.
just like,
We're just really getting to know each other. This is fantastic.
as you're traveling close to each other or embracing your new shower, you can see that some tall shapes coalesce into village dwellings. You have kind of stumbled into a village. The windows of each house are just pools of blackness. There is silence. It is not a big village, pretty small, perhaps maybe 35 to 40 houses. None of these houses have any lights on. There is no sign of life. The only sign of life that you can tell is up above, because up atop a perch of about 1,000 feet, you see a looming castle. It is giant. There are parapets and tall towers that kind of loom and leer and almost hang over this quaint small village like a gargoyle. The rain makes it difficult to see, but it is an oppressive force on this small village. Very, very high up. But the village itself now lays before you. You have stood on the precipice.
Oh. Don't know about you, but the rest of you, but village, castle, kind of what a castles are a bit nicer, you know what I mean? A little bit.
you
Perhaps
want
if we
to go to the castle?
You never know. Some people are very hospitable in castles. Some people are very cool there. Or some are, not. I'll concede to the group. How about that? You all.
I feel like the village will have the more immediate shelter.
Yeah.
The rain and the wolves we've left behind. Perhaps we can find this burgomaster, if he still exists.
Does there seem to be any public buildings in this village? Or what would be like public buildings?
Make a perception check.
God, I should start asking questions. 13.
It seems like there's a main road that kind of cuts through the center artery of this village, and then branches off in the center. not that far. I mean, this is a small enough village that you can walk, but right at where there would be the center of the village, there's dim, faint light coming from one building, the only light you see.
I do think that maybe we're not completely alone.
Do the other buildings look abandoned?
You would guess that probably half of them are abandoned. Maybe half of them seem like there's some care, although, I mean, this place is dreary, uncomfortable. The people that live here are taking shelter.
Yeah, but no light coming from those.
No.
Any like chimney smoke besides like this one?
Make a perception check.
18.
You kind of head off a little bit down the road, checking for signs. There's a small kind of side road that you pass. You do not see any chimney smoke, but you do see a person, a figure. They don't seem to see you, but they are probably 40 feet away from you, and they are pushing a cart. And then you can see that they are an elderly woman.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to be too bothered by the rain.
Yeah, I do call out, hello, miss. And I do put my hammer, like, away.
Okay, as you call out, you can see that she's just about to knock on one of the doors. And then she stops and looks over at you. And then kind of collects her things and kind of waves. And then puts up one finger, as if to say, just 1 second.
Yeah.
How close is she?
Stay where I'm at, and I do look over to my companions and wave them towards me.
Yes, you can see that she's in her 70s, maybe, like a comely human woman pushing this cart.
How close is she? Sorry.
Oh, she's 50 feet down the road. She's about 4 houses down. And as she, you can see. Oh, sorry. You can go ahead again.
No. I was just as I approach, I was just gonna do another divine sense.
Okay. As you, what's the range on divine sense?
60 feet.
Okay.
You see everything.
It's celestial, fiend, or undead.
As you kind of heed Petra's call and kind of come up, getting your holy symbol ready, you see this woman turn and knock on the door, and immediately someone answers. A woman in her 30s who seems overjoyed to see this old woman, and thanks this woman profusely, and pulls out a coin pouch and puts some coins in this elderly woman's hands, who kind of takes them kindly, and then opens up this tray on her cart to reveal a pie. I mean, you can't tell what pie it is, but certainly a pie, baked in a nice tin. And as your this transaction ends and they embrace in a hug, and the door closes, your divine sense pings this elderly woman with a strong sense of fiend.
I would say to my companions, this woman, she is a devil.
She turns and is walking toward you, pushing her cart, like kind of waving at you, Petra.
Careful, sister.
Petra is disappointed because she saw pie and hasn't had warm food in a while, and was like, God, I'm really... Hello, as she approaches.
Oh, thank you. Please, you're all soaking wet. You're soaking wet. Please, there's an awning here. Come join me. Get out of the rain. Oh, you don't want to be wet. And there's an awning next to one of the nearby buildings that will provide some shelter to the rain. And she kind of hobbles and pushes the cart over the uneven cobblestones underneath it and kind of waves you over to her.
I keep my shield on my back, but I have my axe in my hands, so I walk over.
It was a bit of a trudge to get here. Where are we, by the way? What does this community call itself?
Oh, you're not from here. Oh, this is so exciting. Is this the village of Barovia? I'm Granny.
Yeah.
And please, I deliver pies to the people here. It is a sad and dreary place, as you can see, and I just want to provide some happiness. Please, if you want to buy one, it's just a single gold piece for one of my pies. I have meat pies and nut pies, any kind of pie you
Devil,
want.
I have no time for your snake tongue. Tell us
What kind of meat?
who you really are.
Whoa! That's a bit harsh. Just she wants to give us some pie. What's wrong with that?
She's not a little old lady, Richard.
As you say this to her, she's like takes a step back, is like kind of taken aback, and then she her eyes come to you and she says, "Oh man, I must confess that I see that you think something is wrong, and I mean, you're not totally wrong. My family has been cursed by devils my whole lineage, and I have fought my whole life to get under from that delineation. And you can call me Granny. My name is Morgantha, but that's a silly formal name. You can call me Granny. I promise you, I mean you no harm at all. I merely wish to satiate your hunger.
Insight check?
Insight check.
Yeah. You can all make insight checks. I think you all.
Do I? You can totally say no to this, Matt. But do I get advantage, like from knowing that she is a fiend with my divine sense?
Yeah, I'll give you
no.
specifically advantage. That makes sense.
Okay.
21.
Natural 20. Total of 20.
Nice.
Guys,
16.
I got a 17.
16. I'm the
Okay.
lowest.
Oh wow. You all realize. I mean, she means you no harm in this moment. The pies smell incredible. You can smell their meat pies and vegetable pies, nut pies. It seems like there's a wide variety. Petra, you think you know, in fact, that she's not lying about her story of some fiend infecting her family lineage. She's telling the truth, it seems like. And she takes out a pie and she comes over, kind of waddles over to you, Salvatore, because you had inquired, and she says, if you would like a meat pie, we have goats. There are some deer. We do have wolf, but I wouldn't recommend it. The meat is a little gamey, but please, whatever you feel like, I will give you the first pie for free.
I just ate.
I'll take. Do you have like an apple pie?
Oh yes, of course we have an apple pie.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I will totally take one of those. And no, I'm paying you for this. I'm paying you for it.
No, I insist. Please.
Yeah. No. You're super cool. He was kind of a dick about it. You're getting a goat. You're getting a goat. 100%.
All right, she goes to grab you a pie, Petra.
While the two of them do their barker, I do lean towards Gabe and I say, it could be true that she is just afflicted with curse. I know we've seen that in the past.
I nod my head and I lift up my battle axe and put it on the strap of my back, and I say, I am sorry, Granny, for jumping to such conclusions. You see, we were magically brought to this place and are a little on edge, and I have a nose for fiends. And of course, when I noticed that, I understandably was on alert. But I apologize.
Oh, no need to apologize. It is right to be on edge here. There are, of course, fiends about, and would be upset if new people to this town weren't as cautious as you. And you, my darling, what is your name? To you, and she hands you, Richard, this apple pie.
Oh, this looks fantastic. I'm Richard Charming. Nice to meet you.
Oh, Richard Charming. That is a beautiful name. Have you settled down and found a nice wife?
No. We're new here. just kind of moseyed on over. Can you tell me? I'm so curious. That castle. It's looking about. What's going on up there? Who lives there? Got a lord, a king? Place got a king?
Looks up at the castle and she says, there's a slight shiver as she says, that's Castle Ravenloft. The Count Strahd von Zarovich lives there. He rules this land. If I were you, I would stay clear.
But no disrespect, a count as that, because that's a big effing, excuse my language, castle for a count. That's like a king or something. It's very impressive.
Well, they say that he is of royalty. In fact, not only does he have this castle, but he owns everything here. Now, if you want to get out of the rain, I would direct you to, there is a tavern nearby, Blood on the Vine. They could provide some shelter and some food. She points to the one door that you saw before, Gabe, that had a little shaft of light open.
Well, Granny, whatever food they have, I guarantee you it would not be as good as this pie is going to be. Friends to the Blood Inn place?
She turns to you, Petra, and she says, "Are you sure you don't want a pie? You're all skin and bones. You could use some food, I think."
Twist my arm, and I take whatever pie she gives me.
She
But
says,
at least she's not all bones, no skin.
"Yes." This is great. It doesn't seem to understand what you say as she pulls out a maple nut pie. Fragrance, smells great. Hands it to you.
Yeah, I take my alms box and have to shake coins out to get up to a gold's worth.
Yep.
And hand it over to her. And I do, before you go, is there a church in this village?
Yes, there is a church. There's Father Donovich on the edge of town. He's preoccupied. His son is a handful these days, but he worships the Morning Lord like the rest of the people here.
Who's his son?
Oh, poor old Doru. Well, I don't know what has come of him, but he's seemingly lost his mind. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah, you know what? Second thought, can I get one of those meat pies?
Oh, she looks delighted, and you look like a deer man?
Nailed it.
She hands you a pie, deer meat pie, and it's all these pies in its own little tin. They're single serving, or maybe 2 serving pies, like somewhat substantial. And then looks to you, Gabe, and says, "Are you sure you don't want one? For you, because you're so honest with your trepidation with me, I'll give you one for free."
I mean, no offense, Granny, but I will not partake.
She nods and says, "Well, I have to get going. I have some deliveries across the town, but it was a pleasure to see you. I really hope that we meet again sometime."
Absolutely incredible meeting you. You're fantastic.
I do
Super
have
big
one
fan.
more question. What year is it?
She kind of looks around a little confused and says, "I don't know."
Cool.
Oh. Okay.
Ciao.
One creepy point.
She takes off down the road, leaving you all standing under this awning. The Blood on the Vine Tavern that she pointed to is a couple houses down through the rain.
Is that where the light was coming from?
Yes, you can see a little bit of dim light pouring in from the windows.
I think this is the place.
What do you think, Richard? Should we try ourselves at the Poorly Inn, or should we go to Castle von Skerrinane?
Look, you're making jokes. I'm really proud of you. No, inn. I think inn sounds like a good idea. She made the castle sound like not fun.
Right.
I will
Yes.
open the inn door.
You head
Information is always good.
down the road. As you get to the front of the inn, you can see that it is called Blood on the Vine. Although you realize that it used to be called Blood of the Vine, but someone has turned the F of the word of into an N.
It's funny. In my notes I wrote the wrong right way.
Yep. And you can see that there is a single raven seated on top of this tavern, looking down at you. There's a slight unease feeling in your bones. You look up at the castle Ravenloft in the sky, and you see a cluster of shapes emerge from one of the towers. Far distance, the castle is on a pillar 1,000 feet tall into the sky. It would take some doing to get to the castle from here. But as the shape kind of flies through the sky, you can see it break apart to thousands and thousands of bats as they dart across the night sky. Richard, you open the Blood on the Vine tavern door, and that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Oh man, leave him wanting more.
Nice, amazing. Thank you guys for playing. That was a ton of fun.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
I want to play 4 more hours of that. I'm so
Same.
excited.
Yeah.
Same.
Cool. So,
excited.
that was great. If you want to catch more Curse of Strahd, join us here in 2 weeks' time. And then, of course, catch more CharmedPersons content. We D&D, Monster Hearts, Visigoths, and Malgoths. Anything you want, we have got it here. We are churning out content. And then you're probably thinking to yourself, there's no way 2 people of CharmedPerson are getting married this week. And you are wrong. Congratulations to Zach and Emily.
Yay!
We will be
Thank
off
you.
next week, but join us in about a week's time for some more D&D action. All right, that's it. That's all I got. And I just want you all to say with me,
All right.